What's going on, citizens? So today we are on the PTU 4.1 again, and I'm going to try and fly to Manox within the Pyro system just to try and find these little worms. I'm not overly sure where they are, but I do believe that Manox within the Pyro system does have the worms. Alright, sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? The worms. But we're going to fly there, have a little look around and see what the PTU is offering, do a couple of contracts and see how the game is actually holding up so far. There have been a couple of updates over the last week, so it'll be interesting to see if it's made the game a lot better or the bugs are still within the actual PTU. So let's dive into it. Alright, so we are at the orbitary station within Pyro. As you can see, very run down. And you can hear some pretty interesting conversations as well.
I mean, it's a great series, but every time I put it on, it reminds me of Vega. Still haven't been back since the attack. Kind of been avoiding it.
Truly fascinating.
And that's the conversation. Awesome. So yeah, we'll get the hurricane, and then I need to have a look on our little star map, alright, and plot a path to Manox. So we're at Bloom at the moment, and I said Manox, it's Monox, isn't it? Monox, there we go. Alright. If I was a desert worm, where would it be? There's not many locations, is there, that you can actually jump to? They're quite strange. Potentially a jump here, and then just fly, I guess. There is one thing I am not a fan of on the Hurricane, like just the normal old sort of setup, and it is actually the livery. I think the default livery is just, it makes it look like such an ugly ship. I don't know why, it's the colour scheme or something. But you can get a few interesting ones in the shop. I do have one, however I can't seem to access it on the PTU, which is a bit annoying. If you are interested in this ship, I definitely do recommend giving it a try. Obviously you can get it in game. It does have a decent arsenal, and you can get your friend on there with you. Unfortunately, it's not really got an interior other than the cockpit and the actual turret housing, but for the ship it is, I think it's great, especially if you want to just jump on with a friend, do some bounty hunting missions. Obviously, PvP wise, there are a lot of better alternatives. However, I have jumped into a little bit of PvP in Pyro in this, and I did manage to hold my own pretty well against quite a few different aircraft. So, and believe it or not, it does actually fit in my Polaris, so there is a added benefit. You know, whilst flying to Monox, I started thinking it would be awesome if CIG produced a ship that could create a wormhole to jump to a different system. Yeah, that would be a pretty awesome ship to have. Save a lot of time. Feels like we've just like arrived at Arrakis, doesn't it? But everyone was saying that about Monox. Star Citizen's version of Dune. Alright, so I'm not really sure where to look, but we're just gonna sort of scope out the terrain, see if we find anything a little bit spicy. Yeah, another Arrakis joke. Ah, yeah, hopefully we don't fly into any invisible walls like we did the other day. Such a well-designed, like, planet. I get it's just like, you know, typical desert planet. Just all the little details. You do not get this sort of feeling in any other space game. I don't care what you say. It's just, every planet has its own feel to it. It's so good. I've not actually landed on Monox yet. I don't think. At least definitely not in the PTU. I think we're going to find a sandworm here. This should give you a pretty good idea of what surface of Monox actually looks like. Don't forget as well, it's always worth having a random fly around slash explore like this because, you know, CIG do put wreckages on the planet's surface that you won't be able to use the map to locate. So it's always worth having a good around. So we do have something. Got here. What is this? That's weird. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, shit. Shit, man. Alright, well, I'm gonna play that game. It's a good grenade. Okay. Alright, so we found the, whoa. We found, the space worms. Look at these. That is some creepy space worm. It reminds me of Tremors. Yep. Yep. These guys definitely... Yeah, you would not want to be coming across these if it was pitch black. They do appear to move around a little bit. So cool. Wow. Well, there we go. We found them on Monox. Try and show you my location now as well. If you want to come and find them. So we're pretty close to sort of position here. It's within this sort of darker red, greener area. It's here. Look how many teeth it's got. You would not want to be grabbed by one of these. Like, oh, can you imagine that? Your leg just, oh, horrible. So it looked like it was picking up stuff and spitting it at me. So just be aware of that. Make sure you go with a firearm. Deal with these. Alright, so we're going to get back to the ship. From there, I'm going to have a look at some contracts. And if not that, jump to Stanton and see if we can see any of the orbital mining lasers actually working. Just look at that view. So cool. Right, let's have a look at the contracts. We'll do it when I'm in the ship, just in case any more worms decide to pop up and, yeah, take me for a ride. Right, so we've got a collection one new to the system. Seems a little bit boring. Want to be a headhunter, kill the king, pilot in distress, shut off power at the asteroid base, need someone taken out. Where's this? That's there's path 2. Maybe not, because it's not actually showing on this. Oh. Oh, it just disappeared anyway. And it looks like I completed it. So clearly they haven't fixed the objectives getting completed and giving you money. Interesting. Abandoned outpost. I suppose we could do this one. Well, there's your sandworms or sand snakes, whatever you want to call them. Pretty cool. We managed to find them, and you can pick them up on the scanners, which is even cooler. I wonder if when they release the big sandworm, that we'll be able to pick that up on our scanners as well. So that'll seem pretty easy to find then, I guess. But if you want to see them, go to Monox. Picked up our output on our guns. The reason I've done that is we are in Pyro, and other players could easily engage us at any point without any sort of punishment. So it's good to have plenty of weapons, plenty of power in your weapons or in your shields, depending on what you're flying and what you're doing. You know what? This is actually the first time I've been to this planet. I've just realised that. I've never been to Pyro 1 before. Right, so it's always good just to get out a few scans. That way you'll be able to identify any other players as you're on approach. I've never been to this planet before. I'm not too sure what to expect. Objective complete. However, our enemy is still there, I assume. Well, thanks to the QR code at the top. Can't actually spot how many enemy we need to kill. So this is going to be a bit of a tricky one. Let's see if the contract works. Definitely should have parked a little bit closer. The only reason I didn't is just had that thought that other players might be around. We need to try and kill one of the AI and pick up a rifle. And if you've been following my channel on YouTube for some time, you might realise I do not like shotguns. But for me, having a shotgun is very, very rare. You know, unless it's a zombie. It's a zombie game, you need a shotgun. Eyes on enemy. Oh, well, there we go. Oh, I do not like shotguns. Alright, buddy. What you got for me? Med pens now? Sucks. Med pen would be very, very useful right now. Ah, hear me, God. Bleeding out. Oh, you better have a med pen. God damn it, I'm stuck on... Oh my God. Come on, loot him. Loot him! Ah, we passed out. Incapacitated. Oh, no way. Ah, now we can see the targets. That's one of you. Like a little bit of air superiority. I managed to deal with one of them. Let's finish the others. Wow. He really felt that, didn't he? Ah, I need to work out how to get rid of this QR code. It really is in the way. I know there is a way of doing it, but I cannot remember. Okay, let's swap the helmet. Thank you very much. Oh, that Citadel armor's pretty cool, yeah, I'll take that. If it swaps. By the arms, will they swap? Wouldn't look like they are swapping right now, would it? Maybe they will now. There we go. Oh. There we go. Here's the guy who made us finally bleed out. And that is very frustrating. He had 2 med pens on it. Oh my god. No way. He had 2 med pens. Yeah, this mission actually did hold up really well, to be fair. Even though I got absolutely nailed. Kind of enjoyed it. This big tower up here. Awesome. Whoa, look at that. One heck of a view. Look at this. How awesome is this when you look up? Successful contract in the end. What I'll do now is we will try and jump to one of the PAFs. This might take me a little while, so I'll just fast forward the video for you. And there it is. Ah, and there it is. Whilst I was making a copy, I came back and misclicked. I'm floating through space. Ah, we love it. Oh, well, after that palaver, you know, I was like, I'm just going to bring out the big guns, you know. I've had enough of stuff like that happening. I'm too used to multi-cruise ships. So, I kind of went a little bit over the top. And I figured that you probably would want to see it at some point in the video. So, I brought out the Polaris. Because why not? And it does mean that we can jump to Stanton and to one of the PAFs relatively easily without having to refuel or do any of that sort of stuff. A little bit overkill, but yeah, you know how it is. Alright, so co-pilot, are you ready to do the Stanton jump? Who am I kidding? Don't have any friends. No, jokes aside, if anyone does actually want to do some crew-based gameplay on the old Polaris, I'm definitely down for it. Preferably some PvP-based stuff, that would be good fun. Alright, sadly everyone, none of the orbital mining lasers seem to be active at this time, which is a shame. They might not even be working on the PTU at the moment. I know they were for a while, but I think they have stopped them working at this time. There is quite a bit of a process, a lengthy process, to go round to actually achieve all this starting up and then connecting it to the actual orbital laser you can see here, and then eventually you go to this command unit on the ground, which then fires the laser down into the ground, creating this cave you can loot up and explore, that sort of thing. Really cool bits of kit. If you want to come and explore these sort of areas, it's definitely worth doing, getting used to them. You can find them on Aberdeen and Daymar under PAF, and it should be like a cluster of areas that you can jump to. However, that does conclude today's video. Unfortunately, I am pretty gutted that we can't see the orbital lasers quite yet. I keep trying and I've just had no luck. Hopefully you enjoyed the worms and that contract that almost went right but went wrong and then went right. If you do like this content for Star Citizen, please remember that sub, follow and leave a comment. And I will see you in the next video. Good luck in the verse.